We've talked a ton about the first full week of NFL preseason action, quarterback battles. Let's bring in somebody who's got, quite frankly, a lot more experience in that field than I do. One of the foremost online media quarterback breakdown gurus. Chase Daniel, longtime NFL quarterback, is with us right now, buddy. Great to see you. You're getting a nice round of applause from the boys in the studio. Let's jump right into this, okay?
Yeah.
Everybody is going to react in a variety of ways to Shedeur Sanders. Everything that he does, every play he makes, everything he says. You actually broke down the tape. What were your impressions first time out in the NFL preseason action, Shedeur Sanders?
Thought it went really well. I honestly don't know if it could have got any better. I know it's the first preseason game. I know he's played 50 snaps. I know this, that, whatever. A lot of noise surrounding. Hey, did you like his intro? Did you like his walk? And did you like this?
Right.
He wanted to keep it about football. And boy, like his first throw, Tom, he threw a slant route about 100 miles per hour to his right. He was amped up. He was juiced up. He settled in nicely. He played with a poise that maybe I haven't seen him play with in a long time. And it's his first game. I get that. But he was making checks at the line of scrimmage. Yes, he missed some throws. Yes, he put the ball in harm's way twice. Should have had 2 interceptions. But he didn't take a lot of sacks. He was a lot more athletic than I remember him being at Colorado. And people are like, well, didn't you watch the game at Colorado? I'm like, yeah, he didn't really run a lot. He was out there spinning. He was doing this. And then the touchdown throws were great. Like the one you fake to the right, it's a bootleg to the left. You put it in a really tight window throw, moving to your left as a right-handed quarterback. That's very difficult to do. And then his pocket movement on the last touchdown right before the half was excellent. You got a blitzer off the weak side. The running back comes over, pins him. He moves over to the right and throws an absolute dot between safety and corner down low. Now, there's some things to fix, but when you watch him, you could see, okay, I could see the opportunity arise where, hey, you're getting more 2 reps. You're getting more 3 reps. So it was a really promising start, in my opinion.
The upside on Shedeur Sanders, the thing that a lot of coaches and scouts, when they watched him, everybody talked about, he is really accurate. That is a strength for him going back the days of Colorado. That showed up there. He's really tough. He didn't take a ton of sacks, which was one of the concerns, was just how long is he holding the ball. I'm curious when you're watching him, and again, I know this is preseason, nobody's scheming, it's probably pretty vanilla here, but do you see him getting 1 to 2 to 3? Do you see him progressing? Because a lot of the throws he was making, it seemed like, at least in the early stages, were, okay, they're telling me just get the ball out of my hands, take the snap, get it out.
I thought from the first quarter to the second quarter, you saw a big improvement in going through progressions. Like he would throw some RPOs and it'd be the first read or run. There's a couple times where they were rushing 5 and he was like, hey, it's man-to-man. Yes, this guy's open. I don't really quite trust it yet. Let me run around. And that was on the 13-yard scamper around the right edge. The one I loved the most was, we talked about it, was the second touchdown throw before the half. They have 2 out routes to the left, and they have a double post concept to the right. He has to read this left to right. So he reads the out route to the field or to the boundary. It's not there. He comes into the stick route, which is a 5-yard out route, but didn't like it. He moved through the progression to the through route, and the through route in a double post, it's supposed to grab the middle of the field safety. And when that happened, he moved right, got to his 4th progression, Tom, and it was a perfect throw. So he did settle in, and there was a couple throws in the second half that were really good too. I think a lot of college quarterbacks, really other than Jaden Daniels that I've studied coming out, they lock onto 1 or they lock onto 2. And it's taken time for Shadour to learn a true NFL offense, because Kevin Stefanski isn't like, hey, just throw this guy. You have pre-snap reads, you have post-snap reads, you have checks, you have run game checks, you have all this stuff. So I think the way they're bringing him along, I think it's been really good.
So how much grain of salt with all these guys, not just Shadour, but obviously we saw Jaxson Dart play really well. How much is just somebody who's experienced that? You know the difference between preseason football and regular season football. How much of a caveat do you take anything we see, good or bad, with this time of year?
There's definitely a grain of salt, because when you look at preseason and you look at everything that coaches do to get ready for preseason, I mean, I've been on multiple teams, played a lot of different areas, was a journeyman backup quarterback, and every first preseason game I played in, it was a set amount of plays that was our training camp play. So I'm like, well, they run cover 2 and we're running this against cover 3. They're like, just figure it out. And so I think that's what they're doing on defense too. But I don't want to take away, and I want to be able to celebrate what they were able to do, because you break these guys down. We watch these guys, fans watch these guys, teams watch these guys in college, and you have a big break. You have the draft. You have all this hoopla. Shedeur Sanders was the story of the draft, right? Jaxson Dart, I thought, was one of the stories. Giants moving back up to 20 to get him. All this stuff. But then they actually get to go out there after 4 weeks of training camp or 3 weeks of training camp, and they actually get to throw a football in a real game. So real game reps matter, and it's just taking advantage of that opportunity to put yourself in the best position to move up the depth chart.
Let's talk about Jaxson Dart here, because it seemed like Russ played pretty well in that game too. Again, he's done this. He's done way more complicated things than going out and playing a series or two in a preseason game. When you see Dart on the field, you see some of the things, even just to my untrained eye, that everybody said during the process, which was the Giants believe there's layers to his game. It's not just the ability to create with his arm, but it's also the mobility. He can be a run threat at times. He can make things happen off schedule. He makes a great throw on the touchdown as well. And as much as we're probably getting ahead of ourselves to say, should he start in week 1, it seems like that at least was a good first impression.
It was a great first impression, and I'll tell you 2 reasons. One, his escapability and his athletic ability. I sort of slept on it a little bit coming out of Ole Miss, and I saw some plays. It sort of reminded me 2 years ago of Bo Nix coming out. He was sneaky athletic, so he can move. I mean, Tom, they ran a quarterback draw with this guy, and there was a couple times where he was moving around in the pocket, sort of a la Josh Allen when he was younger. I don't think he's really that much of a running threat as Josh. He can move. The second thing, and you said it on the second touchdown, a lot of people probably did not see this, and I had to look even to my trained eye, and I zoomed in on a breakdown that I did, and Jaxson Dart actually checked. He audibled to the go route on the touchdown throw. So you getting smoked as you throw the football, you're checking to a route, you're checking the protection, and you're throwing a dime. You got to get up and down before the safety gets there. And DeMar Hamlin was back there. It wasn't like it was a scrubs playing. So all this stuff, it matters. Like I can't remember the last time really a rookie quarterback has been given that ability at the line of scrimmage. Hey, let's tap our butt right here. Let's go route. Let me throw it. And then it all works together, third down. All this stuff. So it's a really good start. I think Dave's called it mid, but I thought it was better than mid.
Chase Daniel is our guest, co-host of the Scoop City podcast at The Athletic. Also, you can find his thorough breakdowns on YouTube, on X, basically everywhere. Chase is everywhere, including right here, right now on the Rich Eisen Show. Let's talk about the Saints, because, Chase, I was down there a week or so ago in camp. And, second drive of the practice, the first drive for Tyler Shough, he goes right down the field, looked like he was efficient. The rest of practice was just kind of a mess, and he threw a couple of interceptions. So if you had asked me yesterday, like, hey, what do you think is going to happen? Just ballpark. Take a wild guess how his debut goes. I'm like, I don't know, probably throw a pick 6 and throw a bomb for a touchdown. That's exactly what we got out of Tyler Shough here. When you look at him, obviously he's played a lot of college football, or at least been around 7 years of college football here. Do you see a guy who the Saints should be looking at and saying, you know what, he's our best option, let's roll him out there week 1?
I think they should start him week 1. I don't think it's even close to a doubt in my mind, because, look, I like Spencer Rattler, didn't play great last year, and it's sort of a even ground of quarterback competition, right? Jake Hayner's in it. I think it'll probably end up being Tyler Shough or Spencer Rattler. But when you look at how high they drafted him, 40th overall, I think you have to go out there and I think you have to play him well, because look, this is a new coaching staff. Kellen Moore, first of all, they're going to run the freaking football, and they're going to run it again, and they're going to run it again. They don't have a horrible offensive line. Rashid Shaheed, Chris Olave on the outside, Alvin Kamara at the running situation. I think they're going to protect the young quarterback. And if you look back and really study Kellen Moore's offense with Philly, and I know they don't have the offensive line, the Saints don't, and I know they don't have the running back, but after this, Eagles started 2-2 last year. I think Jalen Hurts was throwing the ball 40 times a game. For the rest of the time, and I think they won 16 out of 17, they threw the ball 25 times a game. I think that's how you'll see the New Orleans Saints do it. I think Demario Davis and the defense is going to really have to step up. Cam Jordan is entering year 35. I feel like he's been around. And so I think there's going to be a lot of pieces around the quarterback that has to play well for Tyler Shough to be successful.
I also heard this quote here. We're going to play for you a second here. This is Tyler Shough talking about, if anybody didn't see it, the pick 6, just the route gets absolutely jumped. Here's what Tyler Shough had to say after the game.
I think for me, I was on the sideline just smiling, having, we were like, hey man, this is part of it. I'm throwing that 9 times out of 10. It's exactly what we wanted. He made a really good play and jumped it. So we knew we were going to get the ball back and just go drive down the field and score. And everybody was on the same page. So it was good. I mean, stuff like that happens. It was good to go bounce back and let it rip.
Tyler Shough coming up on his 26th birthday. He's definitely a mature guy by rookie quarterback standards. But you hear that quote, I'm going to throw that 9 times out of 10. I'm just curious. Again, you've seen the play and you kind of understand the things you're going through here. Do you like that answer? How do you feel about that explanation?
Yeah, I think Gunslinger comes to mind, right? Like really confident in what he does. I think it's the right decision. I think the throw was a little bit missed. And look, for a young rookie, I say young, for a really old rookie quarterback to be able to have that sort of demeanor and understanding, it just speaks to, I think, how Kellen Moore wants his quarterbacks to play. They want them to play free. And they don't want them to second guess stuff. They don't want them to do that. And I know a lot of people in the Saints organization. I spent 5 years of my career there. They enjoy that. Now, you don't want to make those mistakes, but I think it's sort of settled them in. Like when I was playing preseason, I always wanted to get hit like right away to sort of get the juices flowing. Maybe he just wants to throw pick sixes to get the juices flowing and then comes back and throws a beautiful dime and what they want. They're going to throw the ball deep. They have speed. So I didn't mind it.
All right, a couple more things here with Chase Daniel. Let's talk about the Colts. I know you did a breakdown on this. We've all seen now the Anthony Richardson play where he dislocates his pinky, short-circuiting what was supposed to be his opportunity to shine after not doing a whole lot in the preseason. Take me through that play and how big of a red flag, if at all, it is that here we are, it's his third year in the NFL, and this is what's happening in front of everybody.
Look, when I first saw the play, I had to look at it a couple times and immediately knew, like, hey, like this is a day one play install, meaning they install this play. You see I'm just getting smoked right there. The pinky looked crazy. There's a day one play they install in training camp, meaning you should know this play backwards and forwards. It's a quick three-step drop play. And all it is it's a flat route by the running back, it's a hitch route by the receiver, and a corner route by the tight end. If you're hot, meaning if they bring a blitzer from the right side, I want you to throw into pressure. I want you to throw the running back the football. And if you look at it, if he does that, he's able to get it out. It's a 15-yard gain. His eyes were the opposite way, Tom. And I think that's really what everyone was a little bit worried about, was the fact that he didn't have his eyes in the right spot on something that is so simple. Now, it might come off as harsh. It might come off as whatever. But this is just a play that a third-year quarterback who is listed as or with Daniel Jones on the depth chart has to make. And it's the simple things like that. It looks like he's back at practice. It looks like he's going to be okay. But you can't make mistakes like this going into your third year. And quite honestly, Shane Steichen and Chris Ballard can't afford to have quarterbacks making mistakes like this, whether it be Daniel Jones or Anthony Richardson, because if they don't win, probably not going to be around next year.
All right, last thing. Let's finish on a positive note here, because a guy I know that you've got some affinity for looked pretty good. Justin Fields coming out again. First preseason game, Jeff Hafley's not scheming this thing up for him. I know Matt LaFleur was not happy at all with how the Packers played in general in that game, but you watched Justin Fields, including on the touchdown run, and you're like, oh, yeah, remember that guy who was like one of the most dynamic run threats we've ever seen at the position, even though the passing game was up and down? Like, that's that guy. Now it's a matter of, all right, can we build this passing game around him? What have you seen so far?
Yeah, I like the way he played. Didn't get a lot of snaps, but I think the play where he runs in for a touchdown, I don't think he's going to be discouraged from running the football in this new offense with Tanner Engstrand coming over from Detroit and with Aaron Glenn. I think they want to use his athleticism. This is the first time, in my opinion, that Justin Fields has really got to have an offense built around him. I liken it to maybe Lamar Jackson when Lamar Jackson was younger. Like, you want him to run. Now, Lamar Jackson is throwing the football at an extremely better rate than Justin Fields. But I think that Justin Fields, when you have an offense built around him, he can really shine. Now, they've got some good running backs. I think the run game, they need to run for 150-plus yards a game to win. They have a decent defense. Garrett Wilson, last time I checked, is really, really good. So I do like the fact that he's not looking over his back. He can play freely. I think Aaron Glenn's a great head coach. I think he's going to have a really good time with him. But I like the way that Justin started off. It'll be interesting to see once he gets into the regular season how this offense will take shape. It will take 4 to 5 to 6 weeks to understand what play caller Tanner Engstrom and what quarterback like to get on the same page. But I do like what he's done so far.
Can hear him on the Scoop City podcast on The Athletic. Watch his breakdowns on YouTube. Chase Daniel, always a pleasure, man. Thanks, Tim, for doing this.
Thanks for having me on.
All right. Chase breaks it down like nobody else.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.